Hi, this is Tim from fititmidlife.com. Today, I've got the brand new Reebok Nano X1, the newest version of the Nano cross trainer from Reebok. They're no longer calling it a CrossFit shoe. It's now the shoe for fitness. What's different? That's what we're going to talk about and show you. This is a first look unboxing and first workout, so stick around. All right, here they are, the Reebok Nano X1. X1 as in 11, you know, like Roman numeral X or 10 plus 1. This is the 11th version of the Nano, and I have just finished working out and doing some side-by-side testing with the Nano X, Nano 10. Lots of laces on these, very generous amount of lace. Tiny little tongue, tiny little tongue compared to the beefy tongue in the Nano X. And these are a knit upper. This is the flex weave knit, so it is different than this flex weave on the Nano X. There is a flex weave grit option coming, which I believe will be more similar to this, but don't quote me on that. I don't have those yet. Be a while before this is a wrap. Let's take a look around. Outsole's different. These feel like they have more drop to them than the Nano X, Nano 10. Reebok has not published a number, but when I'm wearing these side by side, which we'll do here in a second, when I'm wearing these side by side, it feels like more drop in the Nano X1. Yeah, it definitely feels like more drop. You can tell the difference. When you wear them side by side like this, really is a beautiful thing because you can immediately feel the difference. And it feels like my heel is up higher in the X1. Toe box width, kind of hard to tell. The Nano X looks wider, but I have no issue with the width in the X1. And it feels like about the same amount of spare width to me. Optical illusion, though, this looks more narrow in the toe. But both are US men's size 11, which is my normal shoe size for most cross trainers and most running shoes. Great fit on the X1. No heel slip. No issues, they're comfortable, there's nothing rubbing, nothing causing abrasions anywhere on my ankles or my feet. And the fit is good. I'll call them true to size. Okay, so here's side by side with the Project Rock 3. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I know the Project Rock 3 is 8 millimeters of heel to toe drop. And it feels, the X1 is definitely less than 8 millimeters of heel to toe drop. It definitely feels like my heel is up higher in the Project Rock, which is 8 millimeters. So I don't know, I'm guessing maybe the X1 is 5 or 6 millimeters of drop. Don't quote me on that though, because Reebok's not published a number, but it definitely feels like more drop in the X1 than there was or is in the Nano X, Nano 10. But it certainly isn't 8 millimeters from what I can feel here. All right, here we go. The Reebok Nano X1, the 11th version of the Nano. No longer called a CrossFit shoe. They gave up the naming rights, or gave that back to CrossFit, or canceled that contract, whatever you want to call it. Now they say it's the shoe for fitness. So they've done a few things. I'll tell you all about it here. But before that, let's take a quick tour first. So, as you know, I always like to start with the outsole or the sole, the bottom, the part where, you know, the rubber meets the road kind of thing. It's all rubber outsole. It is very tough, great grip. Reasonable sound levels. It does have kind of a noisy heel as a cross trainer because it's very firm, So you get some of that clip-clop effect as you're walking in these. Kind of reminds me of like a car tire or something like that, and that's cool. I'm all about that kind of stuff. It says Reebok on the bottom, and not really much else. But you can see they're very flat, minimal lugs, right? It's not like an all-terrain shoe or anything like that, right? It's meant for in the gym, on the concrete, on the gym floor, maximum traction, all that good stuff. Let's look up around the side. So first of all, over here it says Float Ride Energy. There is a different midsole in this shoe than what's in the Nano X, Nano 10. It's an EVA midsole, EVA foam midsole, and it uses their Float Ride cushion system. Makes a difference you can feel. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. It says Reebok, of course, and then Nano X1. You'll notice this is a very tough, very firm TPU piece. Goes all the way down here. And adds a lot of stability, lateral stability in this thing. And you can see that comes around the back, dips down. Big old heel cup in this thing, all the way up to there. Very generous heel cup. I love in the Reeboks, I just love the collar that comes up high like this. I get zero sensation of heel slippage or anything like that in the Nano X1. Same as in the Nano X and the Nano 9 before it. This collar, this heel fits my heel fantastically. Better than the Metcon 6, at least for me personally. On the heel, you can see there's some cool kind of graphics. This, by the way, this is the I'll Call You Back edition. So this is the only version of this shoe you can buy right now, but get it from Reebok.com. And the other versions will be coming February 3rd. So very generous heel cup, pretty firm, stable. You can lift weights, you can run. More on workout thoughts in a little bit. But what's up with this little teensy-tiny tongue? They really went minimalistic on the tongue. And you'll see when we line this up with the Nano X, Nano 10, it's tiny now. It's thin, it's comfortable, probably good enough. I don't really want a big giant tongue like a pillow in my shoe anyways. On the inside, there is not really anything other than this removable insole, which really is no different than what's in the Nano X, Nano 10. Nothing really to see on the inside. It is a pretty basic kind of inside of a shoe. These are US men's size 11, and they fit me fine. I feel like the width has maybe come down a tiny bit from the Nano X, Nano 10, but this is my normal shoe size, fits me fine. I've got enough room to spare as far as width in the toe box. And by the way, my feet at the widest part measure 4 1/8 inch wide, as I have measured those several times now. And the upper, so this is Flex Weave Knit. We've got another option coming on the 3rd, which will be Flex Weave Grit, which is more like the classic Nano X Flex Weave upper. But this is knit, it's soft, not particularly stretchy, but it's comfortable, it's good. Light won't shine through it or anything like that. It's not super perforated like the Metcon 6 or anything, but it seems adequate. Forefoot flexibility is decent. People always seem to want to know about that, so I do that. It's, pretty good, not stiff or anything like that. On the inside here, we can see it says Rope Pro. So it's, there's a little bit of an edge there. The tough outsole, this is pretty tough. And it kind of looks like you've got almost like a good way to kind of grip the rope with this tough part here. And this part would protect the upper of the shoe. But it's not a huge, ostentatious rope wrap like on the Nike Metcon 6. Thank goodness, right? Because how many of you actually even climb ropes? That's what I'm saying. I don't, because I don't have a rope to climb. I keep saying one day I'm going to try that. I'm going to do a test of all the shoes climbing ropes, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. So overall, it looks nice. And regular laces, flat laces, I like that, and they're nice with a pattern. Let's do a close-up of the upper here. So hang on one second. So there's that knit upper. And as I said, it's pretty, it's knit, it's soft, it's not super stretchy, not super flexible. So don't expect, like, it's not like fly knit. It's not like Nike's fly knit. I would not call it sock-like. It is not sock-like at all. It's not like the knit on the Project Rock 3 either. And how about weight? This is 12.1 ounces. I was very pleased to see that because the Nano X was getting big and heavy. It was up to over 14 ounces, 14.1, 14.2 ounces, depending on which version, which model you were talking about. And quite frankly, that makes for a pretty heavy shoe. So they've gone in the right direction with the Nano X1. It is 12.1 ounces, US men's size 11. How about the drop? Well, as I mentioned in the on-foot, I don't know. They haven't published a number. Feels to me, again, side by side, it feels like more drop than the Nano X. And that, I believe, to be 4 millimeters. So I'm going to say this might be 5 or 6 millimeters. I think they've gone for a shoe that's kind of, it's obviously not CrossFit focused. It is a little more general purpose, and I think for those reasons, maybe they've increased the drop. Now, if they ever publish a number, if I find out, then we'll find out for sure. But side by side, definitely feels like more drop. How about cushion? Pretty minimal because it's a cross trainer. I can tell you this though, I took these out running today, ran with these, ran with the Nano X, ran with this on one foot, the Nano X on the other. There is definitely more cushion in the heel, in the midsole on the Nano X1. This is a better running shoe, hands down. I could immediately tell the difference. The Nano X, despite being called runnable and having the decoupled outsole, the decoupled midsole, really did not make a good running shoe, in my opinion. Not a good running shoe at all. So they have changed that, and it has improved for the better with this shoe, the Nano X1. All right, so how about workout thoughts? How about in the gym thoughts? So I'll put some on foot in the gym footage in, lifting weights. Also did some running, as I mentioned. And these are great for lifting weights. I mean, they are cushioned, but not a ton of cushion. They feel to me like they've got some drop, so squatting was not a problem. And the clean, it's granted it was a lightweight. I don't really lift heavy anymore. But cleaning and squatting, doing front squats with these was fine. It felt like the drop helped to make that not terrible, getting down low. Deadlifting, fine as well. So I did a 3 RM there, and with pauses in between, as you should do in a deadlift, and they were perfectly fine for that as well. I will mention I don't like deadlifting in a shoe with a ton of drop. While these have more drop than the Nano X, according to how it feels to me, it's not too much that they've ruined the shoe or anything. The real big news though is the fact that my running experience in these, again, side by side with the Nano X, was so much better. There's definitely more cushion in the heel, in the midsole, and that makes an absolute difference you could feel when you were running. And again, I ran like this, with one on one foot and the other on the other foot, and that's really where the differences come out. That's really where you can feel how things are. So overall, I like it. And you know what? I think making it lighter, that's the way to go. Let's not make things heavier. Let's make things lighter. Now, will these be as durable? We'll see. Will they be as tough on the upper? Well, no, probably not, because this is the knit upper, right? This is Flex Weave knit. But Flex Weave grit is coming, and that will probably be adequately tough. The one other thing I want to mention, I didn't really test specifically the lateral stability with this new kind of TPU cage, but I do think that is going to be an improvement over what's in the Nano X, because the Nano X did have a heel cup, but it's lower. Well, I don't know, it's about the same, I guess. The heel cup is the same, but this has more rigidity in the sides because of that kind of TPU piece that comes up there. So I think that'll probably make a difference in at least some types of exercise activity. All right, now let's just line it up side by side with the Nano X, Nano 10. So first of all, the upper, this is Flex Weave circa 2020. This is Flex Weave knit for 2021. Big difference. This is lighter weight. This is still comfortable though. There's nothing uncomfortable about this, but you can get the understanding of why this is 2 ounces heavier than this, because this is heavier. The tongue is heavier. All this rubber stuff around the side of the Nano X definitely adds the weight on. So they have gone a little more minimalist with the Nano X1. That's a good thing. I don't want heavy shoes, not for a trainer, not for an athletic shoe. Outsoles, both are all rubber. They've ditched kind of the meta-split terminology. They've ditched the decoupled outsole, the decoupled midsole. This was, Reebok's claim to this was a runnable shoe. As you heel strike, the decoupling would help prevent all the shock from going up in your ankle, knee, and hip and things like that. Didn't really work, in my opinion. I never cared for running in these, and if that decoupled outsole, split outsole was doing anything, I sure couldn't feel it. So they've done away with that. And I tell you what, though, as I mentioned, this is definitely a better running shoe because what's on the inside, the midsole, just has more cushion in the heel. When you're heel striking, much better, definite improvement. Forefoot, not so much. It's about the same. They didn't really add any cushion that I can detect, in my very unscientific testing in the forefoot, though. But if you're going to be running, heel striking, this is definitely better. Width-wise, here we'll take a look. This visually, the X looks wider. This looks wider to me. But then when I put them on and when I test the width of my toes, this feels perfectly fine. And they are both men's size 11, U.S. men's size 11. So both fit me adequately and no issues there. You can see the big difference in the tongues. You've got it's skinny, it's thin. This is like a super tongue, very padded. It's got like these bolsters, stretchy. I always like that. This, not so much. It's not really stretchy at all. Not that I'm complaining, but it's definitely different. All right, so there you go. The Reebok Nano X1, the new shoe for fitness from Reebok. It's the 11th version of the Nano. No longer hyper-focused on CrossFit. They've made some improvements. It's a tiny bit lighter than the Nano X at, really 2 ounces lighter is quite a bit lighter. And better cushion, so it's better suited for impact activities like running and things like that. Still perfectly fine for weightlifting, at least in a CrossFit style, functional fitness style weight range. And overall, I like it. I'm looking forward to testing out the new Flex Weave Grit when that becomes available. So check back. I will definitely be getting that one as well. If you like this, please please subscribe. We post new shoe reviews regularly. Thank you. Have a good day.